Now this, Iraqi forces making new headway in the battle to take Mosul from ISIS. Soldiers there pushing further into jihadist territory, led by the U.S. forces from overhead, and coalition forces warning the battle is about to get a lot tougher on the ground.
Any of the fighters who are left in Mosul, they're going to die there because they're trapped. So we are very committed to not just defeating them in Mosul, but making sure these guys cannot escape.
Conor Powell live at our Middle East newsroom watching this story as it unfolds by the day. Where are the coalition forces in the effort to take this town?
Yeah, Bill, it took more than 3 months for coalition Iraqi forces to take back the eastern half of Mosul. In less than 3 weeks now, they've already taken 30% of western Mosul. So the operation is actually moving fairly quickly in comparison to other Iraqi operations. But this operation is going to get much more difficult, much more deadly as coalition and Iraqi troops move in to the old city of Mosul. The streets are narrower. It's impossible for armored vehicles to move around. So ISIS really does have the advantage in that part of the area. And Iraqi forces have taken huge hits in terms of casualties, but this operation is going fairly well in comparison to previous operations. And Bill, it's important to remember that in the last year, ISIS has lost more than 60% of the territory they claimed 2 years ago. And so this overall operation in Iraq to stamp out ISIS is progressing fairly well, Bill.
All right, so if Mosul is eventually liberated, and at a high cost at that, what then for ISIS in Iraq?
Well, ISIS in Iraq is losing territory, and it appears that the U.S. military is going to stay in Iraq for a long term to help Iraqi forces make sure ISIS doesn't reappear there. And we're also getting the sense in the next few months, maybe later this summer, that a large operation to knock out ISIS in Raqqa and really put the sort of final nail in the coffin against ISIS is imminent. The U.S., Turkey, Russian commanders all meeting in the last couple weeks to discuss this operation against ISIS in Raqqa. And so there is this sense that the anti-ISIS coalition, which includes Turkey, the United States, the Kurds, and Russia, is beginning to sort of finalize the plans to move against ISIS, not only to make sure they don't reappear in Iraq, but also to make sure that they don't reappear and are ultimately defeated on the battleground in Syria as well, Bill.
Wow. Thanks, Conor Powell, with an update there from our Middle East Bureau.